Room Zoom Race for Impact is an arcade-style action racing game that was released for the PlayStation in 2004 and would also get a release on the Windows PC, Xbox, and would later be released on the PlayStation 3's online catalogue on the PlayStation Store. And the game focuses around arcade racing that gives you the ability to race as kind of like toy cars, where you have the inclusion of racing in various different types of championships and modes where you can play with multiplayer, and it did have online features as well back in the day that presented a roster of 16 cars as well as 8 tracks to race on. While not all of the cars and tracks were available at the start, you would have to unlock them as you played and progressed through the various championships and modes that were on offer. And the premise of the game would allow you to race in almost like a kart style environment, very similar, and would take much inspiration from the Hot Wheels type of games, as it does have a very similar visual aesthetic to it. So you would have to pick up power-ups that you can use to take advantage of the races, where you can use shields to stop enemies from taking you out, and you can also use weapons to help to slow down enemies or take them out of the equation. Plus there would be a variety of other different types of fun modes in the game as well to kind of change up the dynamic of the play style, to offer up something different that you wouldn't have often seen in a variety of racing games at the time. Now the game itself, while it did have some unique and quite fun features, it did receive somewhat decent but also mixed reviews, and the game would be criticised with regards to various lackluster elements that would have been seen in the game, as the game itself from the offset, from its visual representation, it looked like it had much to offer, but it failed to deliver on a few different areas, primarily with the likes of the controls, the collision detection, and a few of the other quirks and intricacies in the game, because even with regards to the poor computer AI, as is an issue in a majority of these games where the AI is usually the biggest issue because it's just quite poor and in most cases can be quite tricky, or even it uses rubber banding techniques, and it sometimes can leave for a very lackluster or kind of poor experience that can frustrate a lot of players. But it did present enough fun elements that would appeal to a certain variety of players, especially if you like more cartoony style elements within games, and had enough modes and gameplay features available that would test you but at the same time present quite a bit of fun, especially if you're playing with a group of your mates. It just has enough unique abilities, and it plays a lot like those typical kart racers that you would have seen back in the day. And like I mentioned, it is very and heavily influenced by the likes of the Hot Wheels racing games, which are also considered to be very, very popular on the PlayStation 2 specifically. So this game definitely would have been a good alternative for them back in the day, but again, just wouldn't have been as well polished compared to them. But it is what it is. It is a fun game in its own right, but it wouldn't appeal to everybody. It really just depends on your own preferences, and if you can put up with some of the glitches and some of the various elements that can annoy some players. But if you can put that aside, you will have a decent enough experience, because it is a good solid racer at its heart. But I would love to know your thoughts of Room Zoom for the PS2, if you have played the game at all, and if so, what do you think of the game in general? Do you enjoy these more toy or kart style racers that would have been seen on the PlayStation 2 back in the day, and if so, what did you think of them overall? Did you find them fun, or did you find them as frustrating as most people usually have? I'd love to hear whatever thoughts you do have of this game, so be sure to share it down in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell to be updated with future videos. And if you would like to see more content on the channel around other types of toy car racing games similar to Room Zoom, then you can check out the playlist here on screen to see more of those games in action. And I will see you all in the next one.